Most of us are conditioned to think building wealth is loud. We assume it requires hitting the lottery, catching a viral stock at the exact right moment, or securing a massive overnight payout. But look closely at the people who actually accumulate lasting money, and you see something entirely different. They build their net worth through quiet, repetitive, incredibly mundane routines. Nobody is filming TikToks about these daily habits. They don't generate likes, and they certainly don't look impressive on an Instagram grid. Yet, when you stack these unexciting choices on top of each other year after year, the math takes over. Doing the boring things consistently is a proven mechanism for generating long-term wealth. Let's start with the biggest single drain on personal capital: financing new vehicles. Look at this bar chart tracking the true cost of a new car. The average monthly payment is $772. Add in insurance and maintenance, and you build a towering $9,000 annual expense column. At the exact same time, this downward line shows the vehicle losing up to 30% of its total value in just the first 12 months. Now watch what happens when we buy a reliable 5-year-old Toyota or Honda instead. The depreciation curve flattens out almost completely. Your total capital required shrinks to around $15,000, creating a massive gap of unspent cash every single month. Take that unspent $772 a month and put it into an investment yielding an 8% return. Over 15 years, that pile of cash grows to roughly $170,000. A car exists to get you from point A to point B. Treating it purely as utility rather than a status symbol instantly stops the largest depreciation leak in your financial life. Once the driveway is sorted out, the next major leak happens inside the house, specifically in the kitchen. Eating the exact same 4 or 5 staple meals on rotation strips the complexity out of grocery shopping, zeroes out impulse buys, and locks in a predictable budget. This pie chart maps out the average American food supply, and the numbers are alarming. According to USDA data, a full 30 to 40% of the food we buy is thrown directly into the trash, averaging out to 325 pounds of waste per person every year. By forcing yourself to empty the fridge, freezer, and pantry completely before buying more groceries, you recover roughly $1,500 annually that was otherwise rotting in the crisper drawer. The same math applies to your morning routine. A daily visit to a coffee shop easily drains between $1,500 and $2,000 a year from your checking account. Brewing that exact same cup of coffee at home costs a fraction of that, usually topping out around $350 for an entire year. Here is an area chart tracking what happens if you capture that daily difference. When you invest those few saved dollars at an 8% return, 30 years later, that daily habit has compounded into a $220,000 asset. You see the exact same multiplier effect at noon. Buying lunch near the office runs $12 to $18 a meal. Bringing food prepared at home drops that cost down to $3 to $5 a meal, leaving an extra $2,000 to $3,000 in your pocket annually. These choices seem insignificant on a Tuesday afternoon, but plugging these microscopic daily leaks creates a quiet, completely automated funding source for your investment accounts. That strategy of containment also extends to how we buy physical goods, especially online. This flowchart illustrates the danger of digital retail. Companies spend billions designing a smooth, unobstructed checkout experience. Because there are no mental barriers between seeing an item and clicking buy, overall spending inflates by 15 to 30%. To protect your capital, you have to reinstall that friction. Forcing yourself to drive to a physical store gives your brain time to reconsider the purchase, killing off impulse buys and saving thousands of dollars a year. We see this clearly with clothing. The average person drops $1,800 a year on garments they barely wear. Adopting a strict capsule wardrobe, a few high-quality interchangeable pieces, eliminates that continuous churn. Deliberately making it harder and more inconvenient for yourself to spend money is an incredibly effective way to keep it. Once you've secured your spending, you have to systematize your income. The single most important rule is to pay yourself first. The moment your paycheck hits your account, your savings and investments must be automatically deducted and routed to your portfolio. If you wait to invest whatever is left over at the end of the month, there will never be anything left. As your income grows over the years, you have to actively fight lifestyle creep. By living 2 years behind your current income level, ignoring your recent raises and maintaining an older standard of living, you force all that new money directly into your investments. You can accelerate this entire process by monetizing a hobby or a secondary skill. Dedicating just a few hours a week to an independent revenue stream can generate hundreds of extra dollars a month. By combining strict income caps with automated contributions, you are no longer relying on willpower to build wealth. You've built a structure designed to capture market growth whenever it occurs, rather than spending that potential before it has a chance to compound. These tactics won't make you the center of attention. Buying a 5-year-old sedan, eating leftovers, and automating your index fund contributions is dull work. But the excitement level of a habit has no correlation with the final balance. What matters is the relentless accumulation of small wins that eventually reach a tipping point. You have to choose monotony in the present to secure freedom in the future. Slashy spending leads to a cycle of high consumption and low assets. The boring path, while unglamorous, is how ordinary incomes transform into extraordinary net worths over time. Subscribe to the channel and start laying the bricks today.